A political novice is becoming Italy's prime minister. Giuseppe Conte, a law professor at Florence University, but unknown in Italian politics, is on the verge of becoming the next leader of Eurozone's third largest economy. The country has been waiting for a new government since March elections failed to determine a clear winner. To end the political deadlock, the Five Star Movement and the League, the two populist parties with the most votes in their pockets, selected Conte on Monday as their prime minister. The selection still faces a few steps before it can become final. Conte must get the nod from the Italian president and parliament.
Keep in mind that the two parties have agreed to propose to the president his candidacy, but it is up to the president to decide. And apparently the president has some reservations. So he decided to take some time to decide whether to appoint him, to give him a mandate or not. My guess is that there is still a risk that the president might come back to these two parties and say, well, listen, you have agreed on a program, you have agreed to form a government, why don't you step in and, and you lead the government instead of asking someone else?
The pick puts a political newcomer at the forefront as Italy is bracing itself for sea changes. The Five Star Movement and the League have come up with a set of programs to put Italy at the center. Last week, the parties unveiled their joint agenda, including plans to cut taxes, boost welfare spending, expand migrant deportations, and ease austerity. The League's Matteo Salvini said, "We obviously want a country that puts the interests of Italians first. We are ready to go. No one has anything to fear."
Policies can deviate quite substantially from the policies we have seen so far, and I would say probably not for the good, in a sense that these parties have very strong views on the euro, so they are Eurosceptic. They want to deviate from fiscal rules and from the straitjacket, what they call straitjacket of European fiscal rules. They want to change international alliances to some extent. They want to do a number of things that really are perceived to be a significant change from the policies we have seen so far.
The establishment of a populist government in Rome has raised alarm bells in Brussels. The new government is going to drop sanctions against Russia, reject EU austerity, and renegotiate Italy's debt, things that can put Italy against the EU. On Monday, European Central Bank Council member Ewald Nowotny said the proposed policy changes were creating nervousness, adding, "I hope that the practice will be a much wiser approach than what is here today from the newspapers."
We will see whether the government, once in power, will kind of mainstream itself, will change its policies, and will kind of downside the promises that they have made during the electoral campaign, and the promises that they have also renovated recently in the so-called contract they signed. So we will see how it goes. Clearly, there is a risk of major problems with Europe and major problems also with the Italian constitution.
It seems the traditional political class has torn apart in Italy, as the state is now in the hands of those who have little respect for norms and established conventions.